So, what is going on, guys? This is Ryan here.
And this is the Ryan here.
And today we once again have another interesting video for you all. Now this one is talking about subtle hints towards Five Nights at Freddy's 4 and the game mechanics.
Yes, and this was actually a fan theory who goes by the name of Skyblazer6, so thank you very much for your submission, Skyblazer. Their theory is basically saying that the eyes we see in scottgames.com may represent the game mechanics and also previous game mechanics in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, because if you actually look at the way the eyes have been illuminated in the various images we've seen, it's hinted towards almost, well, it's almost like a backflash towards Five Nights at Freddy's 1, isn't it? And the corridors that each of the animatronics used to come down.
Yeah, because as we see right now, we're looking at Nightmare Chica, and Nightmare Chica has its right eye glowing, and as we know, Nightmare Chica came from the right hallway.
Yeah.
And when we look at the Nightmare Bonnie poster, we can see that the left eye is significantly brighter than the right eye, and we know that Bonnie actually comes from the left side.
Exactly, so it's kind of like almost a hint towards Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and it might actually be a hint towards Five Nights at Freddy's 4 game mechanics, and maybe a returning feature we might see.
Yeah, so as we know, Five Nights at Freddy's, it was the distinguished doors that were never seen again after Five Nights at Freddy's 1, so hopefully we're actually reintroduced to some of the game mechanics we had within that game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think everyone loved the whole door mechanic within Five Nights at Freddy's 1, didn't they? It was a really original feature, and it was actually quite intimidating because you couldn't shut the doors for too long or else the power would drain ridiculously fast, and it'd leave you dead really, wouldn't it? Freddy would come and get you.
It feels like there was a bit more of a challenge in Five Nights at Freddy's 1 as well, because obviously you had to keep an eye on the power. Well, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, fair enough, you had to keep an eye on the flashlight, but that was only one thing, whereas power is manipulated by multiple things like lights, doors, so yeah, it was a bit more intimidating, like you say.
Yeah, and you could kind of build the whole power thing up as well, couldn't you, if you had both doors closed and then a light on at the same time. It would really drain the power quickly, and it was just one of those game mechanics where you really had to think about what you was doing to make sure that you didn't kind of seal your own fate, I suppose you could say. So now we're going to be moving over to Nightmare Freddy, because Nightmare Freddy's a unique one, as in both of his eyes are not actually illuminated, so what could this mean?
We know Freddy hardly moved from the stage in Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Even the phone guy mentions this. He says he becomes a lot more active in the dark, which could be a subtle hint to why his eyes are actually like not glowing in the first place. But yeah, we know Freddy to hardly move from the stage in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, but the phone guy actually said he's a lot more active in the dark, which could explain why this Nightmare Freddy doesn't actually have any glowing eyes.
That is, by the way, guys, that's night 2 of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 where the phone guy mentions this, and there's actually two things which really interest me with the whole glowing eyes thing. When you actually think about how Freddy can come and kill you in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, he can actually attack from either corridor, can't he?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's a hint towards why he's actually not got these glowing eyes. I mean, Freddy could come down I believe the left-hand side if you actually run out of power, but if you don't run out of power and it's night 4 and he could be looking into the camera of East Hall, then he can actually come straight in your office and kill you from the right.
Yeah, and that's when we see him with his, like, distinct white glowing eyes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know he's going to get you when you see that.
So maybe that could be a hint towards how we might see Freddy also act within this next game, and I think it possibly moves on to what other things could we possibly see within Five Nights at Freddy's 4 Return.
So yeah, we believe that maybe doors and vents may be reintroduced into Five Nights at Freddy's 4, because if this is indeed the final chapter, then Scott's going to really want to put a bit of each game into the final thing.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing a return of possibly more of the animatronics other than just these nightmare ones. I think the reason why we're seeing a big focus on the website about these nightmare guys is just because they're brand new animatronics. It's like, you know, we saw a lot of teasers in regards to Springtrap, and we didn't really at first understand that there was going to be these relics of the old animatronics around the establishment until Scott released the teaser trailer, and a lot of the website was focused towards this new character. So maybe he's following a similar chain with these nightmare guys, just so we know who they are, and we might actually see all of these other guys in, and that would probably incorporate some of the old game mechanics just like last time. I mean, as you said, we had the vents in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, and I think we may be seeing a return of some newer mechanics as well.
Yeah, I mean, possibly like we might get some updated devices like in Five Nights at Freddy's 3, obviously, because those devices were so ancient, like they obviously caused a fire in the end. Well, supposedly, yeah. So maybe these nightmare animatronics will actually react what their previous like animatronics did, with Bonnie coming from the left, she coming from the right, but instead of just the normal animatronics, they might be this nightmarish, horrible animatronics.
Yeah, I agree, and I think the final point we should probably think about is, of course, because it's a new game, Scott's going to definitely introduce something new towards the game. I mean, Five Nights at Freddy's 1, of course, we had the doors and that was all new. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, he introduced the ventilation system, and then Five Nights at Freddy's 3, he introduced the ventilation system to a different degree. It was a whole different way of playing it, you know, where you had to close the doors off or the vents even to stop Springtrap kind of traversing through them. And, you know, there's going to be a lot of doors, and with the develop time actually being increased in this one, which I'm actually glad to hear, there's going to be a lot of new things I think we've yet to experience within the Five Nights at Freddy's games that we've played so far. So there we go, guys. There's once again another topic for you all to have a think about. Thank you very much, Skyblazer6, for this submission. We had a great discussion about the game mechanics we might be seeing in Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Indeed, and if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like rating below. And if you're new around here, why not subscribe for more theories like this and also some gameplay.
You got it. So thank you very much for watching the video, guys, and we'll, of course, see you on the next one.
Goodbye, guys.
Want to see even more content from us?
Consider liking and subscribing to ensure you'll see all content in the foreseeable future.
And hey, why not check out our past 2 videos?